everybody, this is Angela Savage, the daughter of IndyCar driver Swede Savage. It's time to watch stories from motorsports. My buddy, Doug Kenny, loves to share the journey of people in racing, and he is an amazing dude. Drivers, owners, fans, and team members, watch the SFM podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Stories from Motorsports. I'd like to thank my buddy Josh Mabe for the YouTube work he did years ago that inspired me to create this platform. I'd like to thank my buddy Victor Sifton for convincing me to get back into it after my hiatus from 2017 to 2019. I have a very special treat for you all today with an amazing journey from an amazing racing figure. Drivers, start your engines. Really? That's impressive.
Yeah. My wife came across it last week, and oddly enough, and it was. I think at that point they had done over 100 nationwide series events, and so my win in 08 at Montreal was GR Motorsports' first win.
Yeah, I think
Bill Jr. didn't tell me that. He was so excited about how much prize money there was.
Yeah, I was going to bring up that I think the Andy Pilgrim one was the year before. I think on the final restart at Montreal. I think on the final restart when Marcus Ambrose and Robbie Gordon were going at it, I think Robbie spun Marcus out with a few laps to go, and Andy, I think, was before Kevin Harvick on the racetrack, but he either crashed or he cut a tire down, I think it was, and that allowed Harvick to go on to win, I think.
I was driving for Kevin Harvick that year, 07, at the very first Montreal event. It was a mess on late. It was a late race restart, and turn 2 at Montreal. There was a bunch of red cars. I got run into because I was actually ahead of Kevin, but so Andy must have got into that one as well. So
yeah,
it was Scott Pruitt and myself, and I don't remember who caused it. There was a bunch of us that were recipients of somebody else's aggression. But I think wasn't that the race that Robbie was convinced he won it, but
it was.
He jumped. He was black flagged and then didn't come in, and Kevin got the win.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the race, I think, that Marcus Ambrose, had to win, but, that, as you said, the stars didn't align,
Yeah. I'm thinking he won in 09 or 2010.
Yeah, and I think Marcus had a lot of Watkins Glen wins around the closing of your career.
Yeah. No, he was a great road racer.
Yeah, for sure. And now that you brought up the fact that you realized you were the first driver for Junior Motorsports, I should mention, or the first winner for them, I should mention that a while ago I had a similar revelation when I got informed by my former doctor in my hometown of Estes Park, Colorado, and I learned that I was the first person in Estes Park history to be diagnosed with autism. I was really amazed. I was like 4 years old when I got diagnosed, which would have been 2002.
Wow.
Yeah, that was...
And here you are now?
Yeah, here I am now. It feels very good, and, doing this.
Awesome. I'm sorry we're not able to see each other on video.
Yeah, I'll make sure of that for the next one that we're on video. But yeah, I appreciate you making the time.
You've obviously done an amazing job with yourself personally. That's super cool to hear.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'll make sure the next one is on video. I'll make sure of it.
Yeah. or we can meet FaceTime or something at some point.
Yeah, we can meet on FaceTime too. There's always that.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, what are your hopes as of now for 2024?
Well, yeah, no, we carry on with track ownership up here. We have continue to have, prior to COVID, we had 7 years of basically Labor Day weekend was a NASCAR, now Craftsman Truck Series event, and then COVID happened and that went away. We haven't been able to get back on the schedule. We're thanking any of the big three NASCAR series. We keep trying. But so our largest spectator event up here is the Chevrolet Grand Prix. It's IMSA, and that's a huge deal. Yeah, so my wife and I and a guy named Ricardo Fedani have owned Ben Motorsport, now Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, since June of 2011, and it's an iconic facility, first opened in 1961, and has hosted pretty much everything, from Formula One to motorcycles to trucks, sports cars, obviously, NASCAR, and it's our goal as owners is to we're, as Carlos says, we are caretakers, and our job is to make sure that we leave it in far better shape than when we got it. And yeah, we coincidentally bought it from Don Panos, who had resurrected the track, and we've gone through some tough times in the mid to late 90s, and Don Panos bought it, so this became one of the events on the American Le Mans Series schedule, because we own the place. And he was big into the history and loved the history of not only sports car racing, but golf. He was a fanatic of both, and he liked to own iconic racetracks. So he not only did he own this place at one point, but he also owned Sebring and now Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. So he liked owning, as I said, iconic circuits, and then did an amazing job with the American Le Mans Series, which is now really the merger of two series and the birth of IMSA WeatherTech Championship. So that's, but yeah, no, we've got that, and my relationship with Chevrolet continues. We started the high performance driving school in October 2008, and that's evolved to the not only sixth generation but seventh and eighth generation Corvettes. It became every single model. As part of the ownership experience with a new Corvette, you got a 2-day school, and it's at Spring Mountain. And yeah, so we have enjoyed being a big part of the Corvette Corvette ownership experience, offering the 2-day training, and that was the production sports cars are just so good, and it makes perfect sense, and it was really the brainchild of Tom Wallace and others, including Ben Sherman and Bob Luck. That, hey, you know what? and this was when they first came out with the 6th generation Z01 that had over 600 horsepower, 630 plus horsepower. And we thought, you know what? We should maybe offer the training. I was retiring from Corvette racing, and that was a 2009 model. I was retiring at the end of 2008, and that was where the discussion started. Hey, would you like part of this and help us put this together? And I met the ownership at Spring Mountain, and 16 years later, we have Spring Mountain is a beautiful motorsports country club, a destination unto its own, and that's where we run the high performance driving school for Corvette. It's got my name on it, and we're probably doing between 7,000 and 8,000 Corvette owners a year.
That's impressive, man. Want to hear what I think was probably the funniest moment I've seen out of your career so far?
Okay.
I would say it was when you won your first truck race in 1997 for Billy Hess, and when you were in Victory Lane. When you were in Victory Lane, the reporter came up to you and addressed you as Ron Hornaday.
Oh, you're kidding. I do not remember that.
Yeah, and I remember seeing... Yeah, I remember seeing the reporter coming up and saying, "We have Ron Hornaday in Victory Lane," and you were looking towards him from the window with a smile and being like, "Hornaday?" And then that's when the reporter knew.
Yes, no, Hornaday was a multi-time champion, and he was a pretty darn fine run racer himself, you know. But yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, that was a fun race. We had done that event on a shoestring, and it was Billy Hess built the truck and did a fabulous job. And we got some help from the folks at Alcon to upgrade brake package. And Buzz McCall, who was racing he was my team owner in the Trans Am days. He was now in NASCAR, and he lent us a motor to use, and that was nice to win the race. And back when there was, the prize money was pretty substantial versus what it cost to run the event. So that was a good one.
Yeah. So that's all I have for this particular episode, and the next one we can get to your NASCAR statistics, and I'll make sure that it's on video this time.
Awesome, Doug.
Thank you very much, and where can people find you?
Like social media?
Social media, racing, websites, yeah.
Yeah, I do some historic racing, so at some of the SBRA races, I'm at a number of all of the Canadian NASCAR road races. I will be there with helping my son. We have our own little team there, and running a Chevy Camaro there. And again, that's sponsored by our friends at ADR. I will be at Lime Rock. That's July 18, 19, something like that. There's an all-star race that Tony Varela and the folks at SVRA are putting on in PA 2 cars, Trans Am 2 cars. So it's sort of a follow-up to what Tony started this vintage race of champions, and then COVID hit, and I've done a few of those. And so this is a whole bunch of us older racing drivers from NASCAR, IndyCar, and sports car. and we get paired with a TA2 driver and share a TA2 car for I think a 1 hour race at Lime Rock. So we're definitely looking forward to that.
Sounds good, man. So I wish you luck in that, and can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Terrific. Thanks very much, Doug.
No problem. So everybody, let's congratulate Ron Fellows, a Canadian member of the Order of Canada, on his terrific sports car days and his career in sports cars and Corvette and GMS and all that. And we'll see you next time on SFM International. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please hit like and subscribe if you did so, and please continue supporting our amazing guest. And everybody, we'll see you next time on SFM.
Hi, this is Ted Warner speaking. While the checkered flag is waved for this program, stay tuned for next week for the next episode of SFM. Thanks to Doug Kenny for what he does for motorsports.